Let's bring in SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga, who's at the Madlanga Commission and joins us live from Pretoria. Good afternoon to you, Canny. Just listening in to what Khumalo's had to say, some explosive testimony on who may be behind these contract killings. Khumalo listing members of the SAPS.
Indeed, good afternoon to you, Mpo, and to the viewers at home. Essentially, what you're seeing Lieutenant General Dumsani Khumalo highlight before the Commission as the intelligence head is how deep these associations run between these alleged criminal cartels and some of the police officers that should in fact be fighting crime, but in fact act in furtherance of the benefit of these criminal cartels. There are two very important things to highlight from the testimony today so far, is that he's gone into the evidence which ties into this alleged Hawks interference that we've been discussing for a number of days, which still isn't clear before the Commission as to why the Hawks descended on the property of Katiso Katie Molefe, or rather, should we put it as the Operation Takedown of Molefe on the 6th of December 2024. But what we're hearing from Khumalo's testimony, or what is being suggested here, is that this was a deliberate action, allegedly, under the guise or pretense of, I guess, a verification check, or there are bogus cops at the residence of Katiso Molefe. Why he states this is that initially it was understood that the Hawks to some extent had some involvement in the initial phases, but they were shut out of this operation, and the PKTT was roped in because of a certain Zungu who they state that it revealed to them that the TOMS officials, or some of the TOMS officials of the Hawks, were allegedly working with Katiso Katie Molefe, and it is for that reason that they couldn't proceed with those particular individuals regarding that particular operation that was taking place. So it seems that it was well known by all involved, according to Khumalo, that this was a legitimate operation, but a pretense or a reason under the guise of, oh, they are bogus cops, was used to descend to that particular property from the vantage point of Khumalo. So he essentially is, again, another witness that is watering down this defense by the Hawks that they went there for the purposes of a verification. However, we've seen from the testimony that has followed that they have, the Hawks TOMS officials, by the way, have come before the Commission and contradicted each other on minor details that have raised further questions about why they were there in the first place. If they knew it was a legitimate operation, why they stayed there for over an hour? Was this an attempt to derail this investigation or frustrate the advancements made by counterintelligence with the support of the PKTT? The suggestion from Khumalo was that the reason of the bogus cops was just a pretense, and that in fact this amounted to alleged interference and defeating the ends of justice. A second important highlight from the testimony so far is the CCTV footage that has been projected before the Commission that shows a Sergeant Kosi that is attached to crime detection and reports to Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibia. There's very clear CCTV footage of him driving or arriving at the residence of Katiso Katie Molefe, that is the Sandhurst residence, and he arrives at that particular residence and goes in and speaks to Katiso Katie Molefe. Within 9 minutes, or let's put it as less than 10 minutes, he leaves the premises with Katiso Katie Molefe accompanying him, and he is holding a white paper bag. Now, Khumalo cannot confirm what is in that white paper bag. Of course, it's not see-through, you can't see what's in there, but he states that it's a very quick visit and that the Sergeant Kosi leaves with that bag, and he's accompanied by Katiso Molefe, who is actually walking him out back to his car. So this speaks to the alleged infiltration or the depth of the network of these alleged criminal cartels and within high-ranking SABC officials that they enjoy. He's illustrating the linkages that they found through, starting from the murder of Aman Swat and the subsequent links that they made to illustrate what the level of the depth was was to this alleged infiltration between these alleged criminal cartel members and, of course, some of these high-ranking SABC officials, and, of course, him bringing in the evidence of the Hawks Tom officials stating that they allegedly are in cahoots with these criminal cartels, which would explain the presence of these officials for quite a lengthy period of time for the purposes of verification. That's what they state, but Khumalo disputes this at the residence of Molefe once he got arrested on the 6th of December 2024. And it's important to note that Sergeant Kosi, that CCTV footage, it is just days before the arrest takes place on the 6th of December that he shows up to that house with that SABC vehicle, and then of course leaves with a white paper bag. However, it cannot be confirmed what is in that white paper bag. We expect more of those linkages from the vantage point of intelligence after the lunch adjournment at 2 p.m.
And talking about that paper bag, we heard Khumalo saying that it was him carrying something that is not heavy but clearly of value in describing that paper bag. And the name of Deputy National Police Commissioner for Crime Detection, Chadwick Sibia, comes up, linking him to that white BMW because it comes from his office. But also some sketchy details on why there was no tracking device in that vehicle.
Indeed, once again, he's illustrating that the kind of depth or benefit that these alleged criminal cartels enjoy from the vantage point of the CCTV footage of Katiso Katie Molefe runs deep, even to the alleged relationship between the criminal cartels and Lieutenant General Chadwick Sibia. Now, the tracking system, of course, will have some information missing because of where that particular individual would have been heading at the time. However, it seems that they were able to capture that CCTV footage, which showed that he was there for less than 10 minutes, and it's clear that the purpose was to go there to pick up that white paper bag. However, it's not clear what was inside the white paper bag, but he emphasizes, that is Khumalo, that it was a light bag. He teases in the commission that it could have been chocolates, it could have been sweets, or their analytical process could point to something different because of the nature of the relationships and the allegations they were able to uncover between these various syndicates and high-ranking SABC officers. But the gist of the evidence is that what happened on the 6th of December 2024 was not by coincidence, and the suggestion here is that it was not about the, the verification request, that was just a pretense, and that this all became a clear picture for them once they started investigating other linkages to the murder of Armand Swartz, and then they understood the depth of the infiltration or alleged infiltration in SABC, as it was now clear that there were some officials within the South African Police Services that were working towards furthering the benefits that these criminal cartel members allegedly enjoy.
Very well. SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga. We leave it there for now at the Madlanga Commission, giving us a sense of what we've heard coming out of that commission so far. And of course, we will take you back there as soon as it resumes.